Cabinet Secretary Cecily Kariuki is at this moment being grilled by the National Assembly's Public Investments Committee investigating the alleged fraudulent awarding of 180 million shillings tender to a contractor. This follows the grilling of Quarandam Limited Managing Director Mukuri Ngamua, who appeared before the committee on the same issue. It has emerged that said contractor was paid in 2 installments of 115 million shillings and 65 million shillings in a period of 1 month. The committee described the dealings as a conspiracy to defraud the government. KTN's senior reporter Patrick Amimo has been following this developing story, and we now join him live on the phone. Amimo, what have you heard from today's sittings? What is the Secretary for Public Service, Cecily Kariuki, saying?
Thank you so much, Ben Kisili. Indeed, it's been a very active session when the National Assembly's Public Investment Committee met the Cabinet Secretary for Youth and Gender, Cecily Kariuki. And what emerged was that Cecily Kariuki did tell the committee that at present, the Youth Fund is implementing an ICT strategy from a company called Microflex at a cost of 5.9 million shillings. Yet, and she also told the committee that there's a company called Quarandam, which appeared before, who's the managing director, appeared before the committee yesterday, that Mr. Ngamau, and told the committee that his company, Quarandam Limited, was paid 180 million shillings by the Youth Fund to implement the ICT strategy, which is never implemented. But now the Cabinet Secretary has put the record straight, and she says Quarandam is not part of the pre-qualified firms to tender at the Youth Fund. And he also says that the ministry is implementing an ICT strategy at a lesser cost of 5.9 million shillings as opposed to the 180 million shillings that Quarandam was paid. This is almost 7 times, almost 10 times the cost of the money that Quarandam was paid. She also told the committee that she ordered the suspension of the chairperson of the board member. But now that is as per the advice from the Secretariat, the Inspectorate of State Corporations advice. But this decision is yet to be acted upon by the President. And that's why it seems that the chairperson of the PIC, that is Adam, direct the President to ensure immediate suspension of that board together with Chairman Mr. Bruce Odhiambo, whom the committee has said as described as a super chairman who imposed himself some duties that are not is supposed to do, like suspending those members of the board, like the acting CEO. So they want the President to take immediate action and suspend the board to protect public funds.
Patrick, we have seen the PIC grilled several people. What are some of the queries that members of the Public Investments Committee are raising or asking the Cabinet Secretary?
Indeed, you know, the Youth Fund controls multi-billion shillings. It controls a fund worth over 4 billion shillings. And given that the committee believes that the money that we are dealing with right now, like especially looking at what Quarandam was given or in a span of 1 month, 180 million, the committee believes that it could be a multi-billion shilling scandal because they discovered that the board was allowed to open bank accounts without the authority from the National Treasury. So if like 180 million shillings has been lost through Chase Bank, and it also appears that there was a former member of the Youth Fund who was transferred to the Kenya Commercial Bank, and also when the person went at the Kenya Commercial Bank, there was a suspicious transaction from the Youth Fund, 2 million shillings. So the members believe that they fear that looting has been ongoing at the Youth Fund because it is a fund that is involving that has shillings, as I've indicated, 4 billion shillings. So they think, they suspect that the 180 million shillings, or close to 400 million shillings that the committee is currently investigating could be a tip of the iceberg. That's why they want immediate suspension of the board, and they want the president to act immediately to safeguard the funds that are meant to benefit the youth of the country.
And Patrick, before I let you go, procurement rules have been flouted according to the investigations so far. From what we are getting from the people who have been, grilled so far, is it clear that money was indeed lost?
From what those who appeared before the committee, from their discussions, it appears because they are not even ready to support. They don't give the supporting documents. Yesterday we had Mr. Gamau who was paid 180 million shillings, but his documents could not tally. So these raised suspicions because, in fact, he was told, he was owned by the vice chair of the Kamau Ishungwa, that with the KRA records you cannot cheat. So the members of the committee will also be moving to the KRA to see whether this company, Corandam Limited, did pay KRA its VAT tax, which amounted to 43 million shillings. And remember also that the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission is investigating the matter. The Inspectorate of State Corporations is also investigating the matter. And if the state corporation that has asked the president to suspend the board, a decision which is yet to be taken. And in fact, the cabinet secretary was very emphatic. She says her hands are tied. She cannot suspend the board. It's only the president who can act on that particular suspension or to gazette the board. What is done is to ensure that to issue a directive that board members and the chairperson should not access the funds facility and should not transact any business. But there is a worry that the committee chairperson could still be accessing the youth funds. Right now, it was before the committee last week, he did indicate that he was to go out of the country in the U.S. on official visit. So members were asking who is putting his bill while he is in that particular state visit at the U.S. But we saw the principal secretary for the Ministry of Youth and Devolution, Lilian Omolo, say that that assertion by Bruce Odhiambo could have been erroneous. He says she suspects that Bruce Odhiambo might have lied to the committee that he was traveling out of the country on official duty, because as far as she's concerned, the ministry is not aware of Bruce Odhiambo's visit to the United States of America.
Thank you, Patrick. KTN's Patrick Amimo reporting on this issue of the lost millions of the Youth Enterprise and Development Fund, 180 million shillings allegedly lost through bad contracts. We shall be giving you details on this developing story. Now, Kenya signed a $50 billion geothermal funding deal with the Japanese government to increase energy production in the country. The exchange of notes and loan agreements between the governments of Kenya and Japan through JICA has seen Kenya kickstart construction for the Olkaria 5 geothermal power development project. Treasury CS Henry Rotich signed the agreements at the National Treasury. Let's now bring in KTN's Abi Agina, who's been following this up. Abi, how big is this deal?
Many thanks, Kitili. Well, they've signed a deal that's totaling about 40 billion shillings that will go towards this particular project. The project is earmarked to ensure that Kenya is able to achieve the energy plan it has. Kenya is actually targeting to generate about 5,000 megawatts of power by 2017. So this particular deal, Kitili, will go a long way in terms of ensuring that this particular sees the light of day. The funding we are talking about will be coming through JICA, which is the agency that will actually be loaning the Kenya government some amount of 40.2 billion shillings, which will be able to construct the geothermal power plant in Olkaria, also known as Olkaria 5, which will generate an additional capacity of 140 megawatts to the national grid. Currently, Kenya has an installed capacity of about 2,500 megawatts. So we are still a long way to go when it comes to achieving the 2,500 that is still pending, Kitili.
Thanks, Abi. Abi, of course, telling us that this new development could add some 142 megawatts into the Kenyan grid. Now, Inspector General of Police Joseph Boinnet has said security has been managed better since the launch of the surveillance system in Nairobi. Speaking during a courtesy call at the Standard Group Limited headquarters, Boinnet has assured Kenyans of security, saying the response time has reduced significantly. Although terrorism remains a threat, the Inspector General says security agents are alert and have made milestones in dealing with the threat.
Those cameras work. They are not toys. They are not toys, they work. And at an opportune moment, we will invite some of you to come and see how it actually works. The handsets that you see with the policemen are not the old handsets. They are the new types of handsets that are integrated with the whole system and work like smartphones. They can take still, they can take video images, and you can communicate directly with the command and control center at Jogo. The officers working in Jogo are able to see what's going on in the various parts of the city where those cameras are installed. So when you walk around next to a camera, be of your best behavior, because someone may be watching you. Not because he has an interest in you, but just to make sure that everything is okay.
I have in earlier meeting encouraged that we have a very open relationship between the Standard Group and the police service for purposes of securing this country. Now, we do different things. We do media, and we say that in that role, of course, we do the thing of informing society. But in addition, we also obviously look out for public interest.
Now, the news: hundreds of Samburu women are up in arms over the continued practice of female genital mutilation in the county of Samburu. They took to the streets in a 5-kilometer walk from Maralal town to Yare campsite. The protesters are calling for stakeholders not to limit their campaigns to seminars held in hotels in Maralal, but also to extend them to remote areas of the region where the practice is deeply rooted. They are also calling for a strategic plan to educate both women and girls on the best way to shun the practice.
Pia tunajaribu hata leo kuangalia kwa maana bado ukeketaji inaendelea, tunaweza pia anzisha clinics za wale ambao wamepitia ukeketaji.
It is a crime. FGM is a crime. If you are being found cutting your daughter, you'll go for it. Now, our community need a lot of assessment, a lot of creating awareness. Because some people don't care. Not even don't care, they don't know about the harmful side of it. So if we keep on coming and do a lot of seminars in urban areas, and we don't reach people where this practice is being practiced, we are doing zero work. We have to reach people where they are, because it is a crime, it is a harmful practice, it really destroys a child, so we are not going to get